Sam, thanks for joining us once again here on Connecting America.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Thanks for having me back on the show.
We appreciate it. Can you bring our viewers up to speed on your specific story, what happened to you in Syria?
Sure. So from 2010 to 2020, I'm in those 10 years of much of which I spent living and working overseas. I was in Singapore for 6 years, in Dubai for a year. I traveled to every country in the world, and like any worthwhile venture or endeavor in life, it wasn't without its challenges. And perhaps most notably in 2019, as I write about in my book, I was taken hostage in Syria and held in some pretty uncomfortable situations. But thank God, thanks to a long list of people who worked tirelessly. And the situation ended peacefully, and today, I put the book out to kind of share the story and also the lessons and the messages around it, in an attempt to help others.
Sam, talk to us about what the road back for the hostages. If in fact these 20 hostages who are believed to be alive, Israelis, are released on Monday, as we all pray they are, what do these next weeks and months look like for them?
Yeah, so that's right. It's looking like there are 20 who are, thank God, alive. The deal also includes bringing home the remains of others, which Hamas is saying could be tough, given some of them could be buried under rubble and so forth. But in the wake of this, it's a range of emotions. So it's disorienting. There's incredible excitement. There's confusion. They're bombarded with a lot of information. I mean, these people, they've been held for 2 years in literally a hole. And think about everything that's happened in, for example, in the past 2 years. I mean, the way that AI has evolved. 2 years ago, it was just this curiosity, and now it's embedded in everything we do. I mean, they wouldn't know about President Trump's assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, or the Paris Olympics last year. These are just examples of things that they'll need to get up to speed on. And so it's overwhelming. I mean, for me, it's 6 years later, and I'm still saying thank you to people. I'm still learning about people who talked to a friend or made a phone call or said a prayer, whatever it might be. And it's 6 years later, and I'm still doing that. And so it's overwhelming, particularly in those first few days and weeks.
That's absolutely understandable. I mean, I can just imagine you probably feel forgotten by the rest of society. Like the world has moved on. 2 years have happened since you've been there. How do they begin to reintegrate into society? And also, what type of support are they going to need long term?
Three pieces of advice that I would give. One is if I was speaking directly to them, I would say be incredibly intentional about the people that you surround yourself with, especially in those first few days and weeks. These can be close family, it can be close friends, these can be doctors or medical professionals, it could be people from the religious community. Whoever those people are, be intentional about that, because having that support system is so important for reintegration. The second thing that I would say is be careful with the food that you eat. When I came home 3 days later, I ended up in the emergency room. And when I came home, I went a little bit crazy with the food. It was like double cheeseburgers and Chipotle and ice cream and things like that. And my stomach had actually adapted to this very simple, basic, low-calorie captivity diet. And I ended up having to go to the hospital and get that figured out. So my advice would be to ease back into the food. And then the third piece of advice that I would give is for hostages, particularly in a situation like this where it's very public, everybody in the world knows that they're being released. It's a very public deal. They're going to have a lot of media opportunities, and my advice is to make sure that you be comfortable with this and don't let anybody push you around. I mean, for example, some hostages come home and they put their whole experience in a box and we never hear from them again. Others come home and the next Sunday they're on 60 Minutes and everything in between. I mean, for me, I waited 18 months before finally doing stories with the Wall Street Journal and NPR. So there's a range of different ways to handle that. But I would say don't let any media or press make you feel uncomfortable. Make sure that you're working with journalists and reporters who you feel are going to respect and understand the sensitivity of the story, and you're in the driver's seat when it comes to the press.
Sam Goodwin, we appreciate you being here this morning and sharing with us what you went through and how you've recovered from your experience to the extent you've been able to and now an author. We appreciate you joining us on Connecting America, and wish you the best.
My pleasure.
Thanks,
Thanks
Sam.
for helping to spread the word, and congratulations on all of your success.
Thanks.